Hey everyone, and welcome to a coloring tutorial. What I have for you today is very special. I'm working on a coloring page from Peace, Love, and Fucking Happiness from Sasha O'Hara. And this is from her brand new book coming out, labeled this, Peace, Love, and Fucking Happiness. And I think that's just so cool. So what I've been working on is a gem up here, and this is what I'm going to show you today. So let's get started. What I am using is Faber-Castell Polychromos, and you can use absolutely any pencils you want to or that you have on hand. I have a yellow. Mine is light yellow glaze. I have a dark blue, and this is dark indigo. And then I have a range of 3 greens, from light green to middle green to dark green. And these are the ones we're going to be using. And then for the highlight up here, I have a white gel pen. Mine is the Uniball Signo. Oop, it's upside down. Broad. This is the one I use probably most often. It gives me a really great, very opaque white for all the gems and stuff and special effects that I really like to do in color. So we're going to turn this peace sign into a brilliant gem. So let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to use your lightest color to bring your light down here. And so we're going to use this as the outside of the peace sign as our guideline, and then we're going to color down here at the bottom of it. Okay, and we're just using big rounded strokes. We want to be able to blend right into here with all of our other colors. So we're just going to go around down the bottom, just like so. As you can see, I've been coloring a whole bunch of the other stuff today, just for fun. It's been super amounts of fun. I really like her style. We're taking our light green now, their first green, and going in around the edges, the bottom edge, as well as the middle of the gem over here. And again, it's just doing big rounded circles like this, going back and forth. And you're just getting a base of color. We're going to go over it all again to make sure it's nice and smooth. Just like that. We're kind of thinking about doing it in a horseshoe shape. I don't know if you can quite see that, but that's kind of what we're going to work on and build up. Okay, so we're working on sort of horseshoe shape, or a C shape, if you will. Moving to our middle green, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to bring some of the edge over here. Always want to bring it down a little bit farther than we're actually coloring. And again, we're just using our horseshoe shape. We're using big rounded circles, circular motions. And we're using very, very light pressure. We do not want to use a bunch of pressure. We don't want to flatten the tooth of the paper or anything. We just want to go over it really lightly and get a base of color down. That's all we're doing, is establishing a range of values in the colors. Basically making a gradient from light to dark. Okay? So we're just getting that color values down, and you can bring this down, the edges down, as far as you really want to, because that's just fine. I like to have a little bit of the green down here as well. Let's go up to our next dark. This is our darkest green, not our darkest color. This one is the deep cobalt green for me. And think it's a really, really pretty color. We're just going to go up here and fill the rest in so that we have kind of our gradient to work off of, our gradient of color. And just again, these big circular motions, using very light pressure and just kind of letting the pencil do the work here. Okay. I like to bring that down, like I said, around the edges. I think it brings a little bit more depth, a little bit more of that 3D look that you want when you're making a gem. And then we're going to use the blue, the dark indigo, which is our darkest color, and our darkest green, our darkest color. And we're going to go up here around the edge, pretty much just around this part of the peace sign. We're just going to use this as kind of our guide as to where we want to color, and you can bring it down farther if you want. Just remember your horseshoe shape. You're just following the edge of the gem, the edge of our shape. And that would be for anything, no matter what shape it was, you would just be following the edge of the shape with your shadow part of your gem, which is what the dark part is your shadow. And then we're just going to make sure we have all our edges. We don't want white up here right by the edge. We want it to look like it's going down and away from us. So that's what we're doing. Just bringing in some depth and some darkness around that edge. And then we're going to start and go backwards a little bit with each of the colors. So we're going to go back to our dark green, the dark cobalt for me. And this time I'm going to use a little bit more pressure and use a little bit smaller circles and just go on in here over on top of all the blue, because I want the blue to make sure it's blended into all of the green really, really well. So it gives a nice smooth look for our gem. I'm going a little bit bigger circles over here as I'm blending it and blending it and blending it. And you're laying down another layer of color as well. If you don't like to blend with just pencils, you could definitely use a blenderless, a colorless blender pencil. Prismacolor Premier has one that looks like this. It's just the binder filler part. It doesn't have any color to it. You can use that to blend if you would like to. I prefer to use just the pencils. If you like blending with Vaseline or Gamasol or anything like that, you could definitely do that too. I've gone down to my middle green, which is my dark phthalo green. Remember, you can use whatever pencils you have. These are just the ones that I use because I like them. We're just blending it down and getting that nice smooth gradient of color. And then going down to our lightest green. This one actually is called what? It's just light green. Yeah, okay. Because I have another one that's very similar and it's leaf green. And this one I like to go all over some of the other greens, make sure they are all very vibrant and blended in. The lighter the color goes, the better it seems to blend with some of the others. So I like to use it over a bunch of all the other colors. And just blending it down here and getting that real intense color and look. And just, as you can see, I'm just coloring in that same horseshoe shape. Just like that. And then going back up to our lightest, which is for me light yellow glaze. Yep. And just going over this again using my horseshoe shape and kind of going around the bottom here. And I'm going to kind of leave that middle part alone because it's as light as it's going to get, and I want to leave it like that. So I'm just kind of leaving that little part alone right here because it already has one layer of yellow on it, so I just want to leave that one layer and just blend the rest of them. Just like that. Now, if you want to go on with it like that, you can. If you want to blend it out some, you can. I'm going to use my colorless blender pencil and blend it out a little bit in here. Just maybe get rid of some of these little white spots that I still have. It's totally fine. They won't bother your gem. I just like to get as smooth as possible. It's just my preference. Just like that. If you want to go deeper with the edge, you can make it darker. You can use a darker blue. You could even use black if you wanted to. But I really like it like that. I think it's a really glowy look, and I like that. So, since that's what we're going for, I'm going to grab my Uniball Signo white gel pen, and then we're going to go in our same shape up here and kind of echo it with our highlight. What I like to do is I like to kind of mark out like right where the middle of my highlight is going to be, like it would be if I was seeing a reflection of a window or something like that. And so then I'm going to do a little mark over here, and I'm kind of using this line on the peace sign as a guide. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to use this as kind of my guide as to where to go. And then I'm going to just connect it over here. And then I'm just going to fill it in like that. Oop. There it goes. Gel pens can be kind of finicky, so sometimes you want to get it going on a scrap piece of paper before you do a highlight. Just like that. Then I'm going to go on the other side and do the same thing. And do it a little bit smaller over here. Just showing you where the light is hitting over in the shadow part of the gem. And then I like to do some like little offshoots, like where the light might be hitting over here, just for fun. Just like that. One of the things I really like to do at the end of my gems is that I'll take that colorless blender pencil, this one, by Prismacolor Premier, I believe. Yeah. And I will just clean up the edge so that the highlight is all the same on the bottom. It has like a really nice clean line. It's just my preference of how I do them. But I like to be like very crisp, very clean. So I like to clean up my highlights just like that. And that is your beautiful green gem. Your beautiful green peace sign gem. Now, there's always stuff you can do with gems. You can do more, you can do less. With this one, you've already got designs on the bottom. So if you want to go in and highlight some of these designs, you could. I don't know if you can see this. But in this one, I kind of scribbled up along the peace sign so that it has some texture and kind of looks interesting. You could go in and actually color this flower now with anything that's more complementary. If you use a orange or a red or something like that, it's kind of going to be a little bit muddy because of the browns mixing, or the oranges and reds mixing with the greens. So I would say maybe some blues, maybe some yellows, maybe some more green. You could do it a couple of colors if you wanted to. So that's how we make a green gem, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you do go and check out Sasha O'Hara's new book, Peace, Love, and Fucking Happiness. We'll see you next time for another coloring tutorial.